Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Heavenly Delusion episode 5. And shit's crazy. This show is so weird and it has such strange vibes. Just absolutely the perfect level of rancidity in these vibes. They are freaky, they are creepy, and then they're also kind of cute and wholesome and trying to live your life in a weird world and just trying to survive and trying to find connection and so deeply human and also so deeply strange and inhuman, which I think is a perfect summary of the strange creatures that we just met, who Cuckoo calls babies. And I mean, they're babies, but are they our babies? Are they human babies? Or are they something else? And by extension, are we human babies? Are we human children at all? Or are we something the fuck else? Huh? 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 Okay. Beyond all the crazy, this show's pretty cool. Stuff's going in very interesting directions. Things are eventually built out so that they meet in the middle somewhere and everything gets exploded or crushed from there, but still we're in the process of going back and forth between inside the facility and our duo outside the facility, exploring piece by piece little pieces of this world that haven't quite been shown to us, the camera. But, there's a sense that mostly people understand them already. Some of them, at least. Not the babies in the facility. That shit's so fucking weird. It feels like every Kiruko that we meet teaches us something, but it's unconscious, and I don't know what's being taught. It feels like every location we go indicates something about the world to us that's carefully planned, carefully positioned to give us a particular set of feelings, but it's unconscious, and I'm not sure exactly what it's leading us to. Every step, there's this pervasive vibe, this feeling of tension growing in the background, like a little bit of a vibration that's growing as layers and layers get added to it. And I don't know what it's growing into, but I know that it's there and it's under the surface. And yet, when I turn my attention to it and look at it, it's scary. And that feels like the show itself. The thing has woven its way into my mind and become strange. I have impressions. I have feelings. I have grooves that I drop into as I think about the show. And I have questions and like cycles of questions that I get lost in and end up just wondering and needing to watch more of the show to get answers to that wonder, because there's no science that can be done, there's no experiment that can be run, there's no way to get more information out of the information that's already been given except to look for more information. And so here I am to look for more information, to watch more of the show. Kind of a compelling way to run your show is like, hey, here's a bunch of things that you internally need to solve. There are gaps, and you feel the internal need to fill them. It's like, I must understand what the fuck is happening here. And then the show is the only way that I can get to that. Here's the only route you have to getting answers to the things that you want. What a perfect product. This is a weird aside, but like, as a product for human beings, as a thing for making people buy your thing or pay attention to your thing, absolutely goddamn genius. Incredibly brilliant. Obviously not the first time this has happened. It's like a mystery show thing in general. But holy shit, I have never felt it like this. Okay, that's not true. Kanata no Astra had me with the tinfoil hat and going flipping the fuck out, wondering who's the villain, who's the secret traitor in this space, how could it be? That was fun. That was really fun. This is fun in a slightly different direction, but somehow in the same realm of like, I need to know what's happening, I need more information, and that leads me all the way back around to needing to watch more of the show. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to watch more of the show. We're going to find out as Tokyo explores this space and is told by her. I'm using her for Tokyo now because there's been lots of hullabaloo in the comments. I guess Tokyo is femme coded. I don't really care. They as far as I can tell, these things are fucking Hiroko monsters. So I don't even know if I should treat them like they're people anymore. I don't know if I should treat you like you're people anymore. You could be a monster. We could all be monsters. I could be the monster. I don't fucking know, man. It's shit's wild. I'm really enjoying the wildness. I'm really enjoying a very different kind of roller coaster ride from a couple of the roller coaster rides that we've been on. Dandadan's its own wild romance roller coaster insanity thing that's really freaking fun. Joe is this emotional experience and this like personal development crucible kind of that like melts you down and builds you back up in old school vibes. And then Heavenly Delusion takes your brain apart and breaks it and melts down all the pieces into ingots and then forges those into something fucking crazy. Fucking 5-dimensional shapes made out of twisted gold. And I just get to look at it and be like, well, I'm not even looking at it. I'm having it done to me. It's being done to me. Heavenly Delusion isn't a thing that I watch. It's a thing that, like, happens to you. Well, it's happening to me. It's happening. Why does that fish have hands? I think I'm broken. I think I've been broken. Now, to be fair, I'm going raw today with no caffeine, and that's definitely contributing to a little bit of the insane that's coming through the screen at you now. I need a break from caffeine. I've been using too much, and I've been getting exhausted, so I'm pulling back. And maybe today's not the day to do that, but that's what I'm trying to do. So, Heavenly Delusion. We've just seen the children, the babies. We almost got caught doing it. We have arrived on land and found shelter for one night in a like a hardware store, and we're moving on from there out into the unknown, hopefully to get us closer to bird logo. All we've got to go off is a bird logo and a direction, and maybe it's over here somewhere, and we're gonna go with that. So I think our characters on the outside are probably going to have to run into more people, and that gives us room for more information. And our inside stuff hit kind of a wall because we found out some crazy shit, some absolutely insane shit, and then we almost got caught. There are a bunch of little things that I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't mention, just to keep them in the front of the mind. There's a strange android lady creature, I don't know, who looks like she's in the middle of a nuclear reactor, who talks wittily back and forth with the director of the facility as though they are old friends. That's very strange. There was a nude picture, a sexy selfie that was sent from a female inhabitant to a male inhabitant. However, it was not a selfie, and somebody pointed this out in the comments. That picture is not taken by the person who's in it, and it's something that I kind of glossed over. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know why I didn't think of that, but like obviously she's just chilling, taking a shower, and something else or someone else took a picture of her and sent it to the boy, who's now been like dramatically affected by that experience. It reeks of a science experiment, but was it a science experiment done by the human beings running the facility? Assuming that they're human and not Kirukos who've grown up into the shapes of humans, because maybe everybody is. I don't know. Or was it sent by this weird android lady? Is she running her own fucking thing that's happening that we don't know about? I don't know. I feel like it's probably the simplest, really interesting answer. Yeah? It's like Occam's razor, but applied to narrative. It's the simplest answer that's really narratively interesting, which is, I think, that it's an experiment being done by the facility and the doctors who are a part of it and all that shit. Because they've got all the security tapes and the cameras. If it's the AI, if assuming that's what it is, in the center doing it and experimenting on the kids at the same time that the directors and the humans are experimenting on the kids, we've got like multi-layered shit going on and getting in the way of each other, then that's fucking crazy. And maybe leads us into thinking that, I don't know, using AIs to run stuff is what caused the collapse? I don't know. This whole intro has just been me going, thing is crazy. I don't know. And again, that's why it makes me want to go back and watch more of the show. It's why I fiend for more details, more information. And again, what an interesting way to interact with the human mind, to interact with the human mind's curiosity and to foster it and to build it up into an experience that's really enjoyable, I think, to be like really curious about a thing, to work on this puzzle that can't be solved. It's super enjoyable. what the fuck is gonna happen next. Our next episode is titled, The Fated Day? Day of Fate. So, a thing that has been foretold and planned out, kind of? I don't know. Makes me think that maybe we're moving in the direction of actually getting some answers, collisions, strangeness. Or maybe this will be like, I don't know. I've seen a number of Avatar: The Last Airbender episodes recently, and there are all these episodes where they arrive in a place and there's an event happening there. So it's like, what if Day of Fate is an event at a place? I don't know. It's cool. This show's fun. I hope you're enjoying my weird watch through it. It's a strange thing to do. I'm very aware all the time that what I do here on the channel is very strange. I'm sitting here connected to this piece of media and then trying to connect to you on the other side of the screen at the same time. And like just trying to enjoy and have fun and explore and experience in fullness and try to capture some piece of that. It's a very strange thing to do, and doing it on a show like this feels so freaking weird. I don't know how to explain or describe it, but I'm having a good time, and I hope you are too. So, I gotta draw something, and I think there's only one thing that I want to draw, and it's weird babies. I don't want to do what I've done in a couple drawings recently of like drawing something directly. I want to draw the impression of it, because I'd rather get the like fuzzy idea out of my brain of what that thing looked like than go and try to explore the skill of making a thing on paper look exactly like it does on screen. I'd rather try to get the thing from in my mind, which is goddamn mandrake carrot baby onto a paper. So I'm gonna pull down the camera and give that a shot. Oh man, I might actually draw something completely different, because I've got an idea floating in my head that's like... Yeah, I have to. I think I need to solidify the black. That might take a little while. That's okay, I'm gonna do it. I think I need refill ink. I've burned through all my black. Oh no! Okay, this didn't quite capture the feeling that I wanted, but it's an okay first attempt. I think I need more understanding of how light would come off of a thing in... Hello, kitty. In the darkness. But let me tell you, I've had this idea in the shower before Heavenly Delusion a couple of times, and every time I've gotten to the drawing stage and I've forgotten about it completely. It had to do with the first Kiruko that we met, the kitty, not the keyboard, sweetie. Good cat. The first Kiruko that we met, the innkeeper Kiruko, and how it like moves in the darkness and uses its face to illuminate stuff. I had this weird impression that maybe to an alien, that's what we aliens would look like as we go around our darknesses and hold our phones out in front of us as these weird glowing tablets that appear to be our faces, kind of. And how, like, a creature that saw a human investigating a dark forest with the shining light off of a screen would have a very strange impression of us as a creature. Here's this odd thing that's carrying a weird light beam and beaming a shining blue light at stuff, and like, yeah, humans are weird. Not as weird as freaking carrot babies. Maybe we'll end up drawing those next time. I had to get this out on paper. I'm not happy with it, so maybe I'll get it out on paper at another time a different way. But this is what I needed to do today. I haven't done a drawing recently that's been like just a weird fucking nightmare. I'm kind of glad to have done a weird fucking nightmare for a drawing. In a way, it really fits Heavenly Delusion. I just wish that it was a more concise, more clear nightmare. That it had, I don't know, like a sense of texture to it and a real sense of the light. And I think that would require some better planning and some better understanding for me. Because actually conveying creepiness is harder than just drawing a thing that's weird. This was probably at its best before I started coloring it. That's okay. No, you can't go up there anymore. I'm sorry. There's a light and it's balanced precariously. Ah, shit. You're so good at listening, kitty. God damn it. Hey. Good kitty. Good kitty. Good kitty. You just gotta show your butt to the camera, huh? Okay, kitty, you're gonna join us for the whole experience. That's fine by me. Okay, everyone, let's turn our attention to the episode at hand. Season 1, Episode 5 of Heavenly Delusion, Day of Fate. I have no idea what that could mean. I'm excited to watch another episode and see what happens and see what more we find out and see if we meet another weird monster, see if we learn anything, see if we get any weird random pieces of information that don't fit yet, but we get to tie them with string onto the string board and be all crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Let's get into episode 5. I've got the... One sec. You know the little, like, plastic a stick that attaches to a standard blinds and makes them go wibbity wibbity? Well, the cat has her little perch right near it, and she likes to just sort of reach out and go blam, 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 which would be fine if it didn't make the entire set of blinds rattle every time, which then gets caught by the microphone and then sounds really bad and then distorts the audio in the background and stuff. I love her. I love her, but she is such a nightmare. Such a freaking nightmare. Okay, I've got episode 5 up and ready to go. There'll be 2 versions, picture-in-picture in the description, timer on the YouTubes, early access on the Patreon. Early access on the Patreon. Beep beep timer to count you down. Let's go. Oh, this is gonna be so weird. Oh, people. Oh, that's a big fucking bun. Potable water. Morning Star. There's a little civilization. Oh, jobs, work. Yeah, man. Old tech and stuff. I missed how much money that was. Was it 400 grand? I don't know what exact game this is, but it looks like Zelda adjacent, but earlier maybe. Huh. Uh. Sort of. Hey. What? We just doing the bully thing because we're bullies? Maybe don't. Well, what a cool design on that guy. He's gonna fight it. Yeah, you joking? Yeah. These fucking assholes. Man, arcades never change, huh? You guys broke a tooth. I wonder if it just grows back. Yeah, you fucked up. No. Like, okay. You want it, then you got it. Got the whole squad is what you got. Oh my god. She's still kicking. You know what? She learned it. He learned it. Back in the day. Learned it from Robin, right? I think that's Robin logic. Damn, that's more than a chip, dude. Oh, and the close. It will? Yeah, but I think it might be how his teeth work. Okay, that was a really fun interaction. It's like same, because like that is an interaction that you could strip all the future past stuff out of and just be like, this is just an arcade in Tokyo, right? You're just a kid playing a game. Some assholes come over, they're like, you're not from around here, man. We're gonna beat you up because for fun. It's weird because it feels very normal, actually. Just a little brutal, a little dark. Hmm. Winter. Is this in the past? Were you now? That's certainly interesting. Maybe it's the early version of the facility? Or one of the orphanages that got folded into it? Okay. But there's no indication of a twin. Oh. Ah. Ah. Okay. How did she know that you could do... just another boss. Yeah, maybe she knows you're not. Hmm. Good interrogation tactics, yeah. Whoa. Oh, I hate that. Sure, but I hate that. That's so relevant though. It might explain why there's no information. Boy, yeah. Hmm. Only you. Oh, whoa, all the charger cables? Yeah, because any tech you can find is going to be valuable. Oh, they're hunting for him? The Ministry. Ooh, that's our first authority we've heard of. Hmm. Information is only valuable, etc., etc. It all kind of ties together. I just heard a baby. That's important to me. There are babies. Yes, and he will again. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but what if you don't have to, though? It's the inevitability of the split. What though? Careful. Yoinked? Or is it is this a false alarm sort of thing? Whoa. The level of fear, though, is crazy. That was like a full panic attack for not being able to find him. Are there sexy books? Ah! Really scared. Yeah. Can't handle that right now. Needs some comfort, man. Whoa, what the hell? Yeah. Did they now? But there are many theories. We've got the bones of a creature. They want to rebuild. They want to rebuild, man. They want to go back. Cat's gone. No more annoying noises. Fuck! How could it possibly? That's awesome. Hmm. That's insane. This is the same little Paro? Yeah, the dance is rotoed or something off of an incredible performer. That's death. 10A 17? Is that years since collapse? It would match with Maru's age. 10A? 10A. I don't know. We have an announcement. We're just gonna announce it directly over the speaker. I thought we were gonna get everybody together and make an announcement. Absolutely fucking brutal. It looked like they were trying to do everything they could, but I don't know, man. All right, what do we do with the body? Show us what we do with the body. Come on, take us somewhere weird. Put him in a soul extraction pod. Get all the soul out of him. Whoa. Whoa, not true. Not true things being nah wah. Whoa. May we? Whoa, only the second in all this time? Okay, confirmation there. I think you are. I think you are. Okay, then to what end? Whoa, cremation. Built with a full... Whoa! The day of fate cannot be changed. What does that mean? Okay, is this emotional puking or disease puking? Fuck. Fuck. That's so scary. And this is a map of... Could be good. Is that the group coming to find them? It feels like a setup for a reverse jump scare where it's something unexpected. Aw, I was on the ship with you. Oh, hi, dude. Oh, okay, a wrinkle. Side quest. Side quest. Who? Doc. He won't know. Huh. Uh-huh. You got a piece of a fish guy. Fuck. Oh! Uh! Anything for some hope, huh? Sure, man. Do whatever you need to do. Okay, we've got a lead. It's a cool lead, man. A bunch of show. Is a piece of him still alive? Little worm. It's a core. That was our episode? Is there... I love that bounce into roll. So cool. Oh, what a weird mix. What a strange mix of emotions and experiences and thoughts and vibes. Ugh. Okay. The fuck is that? And they've never seen one before, so it's unknown. Maybe it wasn't a disease, but an evolutionary stage, like shedding a molted skin. The skin being the whole human body. Well, I don't fucking know. That's so weird. Okay, so we move back from that for 1 second and hop on over here where Guy Man says, if you transplant part of that thing onto a person, they become extremely powerful and immortal. I wonder if Doc was working on that, and then given the circumstance of boy in gooped, and getting killed, what if he discovers that, like, he's gonna stay alive, right? But then the brain switch and stuff, what the fuck? I don't know. But it also, there's emphasis throughout this episode that almost everything that everybody knows about everything is rumors. That, like, coherent information is dramatically lacking and nobody actually knows stuff. And there are a couple of other things in the episode that center around the importance and value of information and how that has shifted. And there's one thing that really stands out to me as off-putting or, like, antithetical to my worldview in a really, really powerful way. And it gives me a very similar experience to reading through especially the early portions of Fahrenheit 451 and the way that information and books are treated in the minds of the characters in that novel. Um and it's the moment when, and that's this interaction between Kiruko and Maru, where Maru mentions all the books that are over there. Whoa, look, so many books. And books are a road to money. I bet we can sell some immediately, right? And I kind of expected that Kiruko would be like, oh, yeah, they're probably worth more to us as information than they are as, like, sold things. And to an extent, she does. I packed a bunch while you were sleeping, novels and comics. We'll read the useful ones, and then we'll burn them because the knowledge becomes more important, more valuable if we're the only ones who have it. And this is like, this is horrifying to me. This genuinely it scares me because it makes sense logically, at least a little bit. It makes sense, and I don't like the sense that it makes because I've got this, like, deeply ingrained sense that knowledge is power, right? that in and of itself it has value, and that it should be maintained and archived and held for the future. That there's like a trust to that. A there's a communal aspect to it, and there's a like, even if this isn't valuable to me, maybe it's valuable to somebody aspect to it. It's sacred in a way to me, and I just realized that that's a sacred space for me. Like I would be deeply offended if somebody actually did this in real life. I'm a little bit offended by it happening in this piece of media in the distant future in a fiction world, right? I'm a little bit offended by the idea that burning the books makes the information that we took from them more valuable. Like, how antithetical to the idea of a book. The whole idea is you read it, you go, wow, this was really useful. Let me spread this. Let me share this. Let me give this to somebody else. Let me make sure this stays somewhere people can find it. And that is not the way that people are running in this world. However, in many ways, it is. We spend a lot of time in the episode visually, not consciously, not like on the conscious layer, showing people communally maintaining old things and finding value in them because they exist still. There's the CD player guy who's effectively archiving old music. There are the people all sitting around watching movies together communally, right? Like, what does it take to keep a movie theater, right, operating? What does it take to those pieces of tech are the last of their line, right? There are no new ones being made. So maintaining a VHS player, a DVD player, a DVD CD, a 3D player, a Blu-ray player, like maintaining and finding all of those and then building up a library of these information discs from the past is like it's so fucking important. And here, our characters stumble upon an apartment full of books or a room full of books, and their take is that's a source of money, a source of a little bit of information for us, and then we burn it to make sure nobody else gets it. And it makes my heart ache. It makes me hurt on the inside. I'm like, no, that's the wrong way. At the same time, we're talking about these groups maybe rebuilding society or pulling it up from the depths, and they need those books, man. They need all the information they can get. It's so crazy to have a protagonist character, a character that we're aligned with, say something like this. Maybe it's not intentional, but I think that this idea is one that's held fairly close by lots of creative people. I see it woven into the fabric of a lot of manga, or people who are like, I rely on the information of the past. It's so important. And that makes sense for somebody who's writing something, drawing something, putting effort into a thing that they hope will carry on into the future. It's like, if we change that perspective, if we end up in a world where books are being burned, that's really bad for everybody who's writing books now. Like, we all rely on that system, on that level of respect toward information, yeah? And there's a line later that sort of makes it a joke where she says, like, now that's the value of information. Look, I got this map. How cool is that? And on one level, yeah, that's the literal material monetary value of the information that you found. You were able to take it, sell it, and turn it into other information which you find more relevant and valuable to you. But on the other hand, ooh, what a miss on the point. What a miss on the mark. To my mark, you know? And what a cool way of demonstrating that things have changed, things are different. And maybe the types of skills that you use to survive in a world like this are different too, even if you don't like it. Maybe I wouldn't survive in a world like this because I would be too emotionally attached to things, to trying to rebuild what's there instead of building anew, I guess. I don't fucking know. It just hurts. It's like, I didn't expect for a scene like this to hurt me, but man, ouch. Knowledge becomes valuable if we're the only ones that know about it. Okay, let's go through in order. Pete Moth, a rare one. Yeah, 400 grand in future yen, you know? And it doesn't play. Okay, but immediately, that's where we start, is recovering a valuable archive of information from the past. That's our starting point. And then our second point is the arcade. And in there, we have the guy hiding behind the counter being like, take it outside, you're going to break my machines, right? What's of value is these things that we're holding on to of the past. And all these little businesses are running off of ancient tech. There's the recharging facility business. There's the water cellar guy who's using old bins and cans, right? Like big barrels and the big water drums. I know that those are like physical. Those aren't information exactly, but they're still relics of the past without which we'd be fucked. Fucked, right? So we start here, and then we're in the arcade. We cause the arcade conflict, and the arcade conflict like burbles out when it threatens the machines, when the guy smashes down and the violence takes away the game. Yeah? We have this moment of respite, and then it's gone. Oh, he named his characters Maru and Kiruko. Look out, monsters! And then we get a squad. I love this dude's hairstyle with the little blurble things. He's got like 5 widow's peaks in a row. It's crazy. This is a big gang. Well, I only use 2. Yeah, you're not from around here. They're not really talking to him about the game. They really just want, they want prey. They want something to do. They've got their own game to play. You gotta at least say hi to the squad. You can show respect to your elders, huh? Okay, hello. And then he's not picking up on the vibes. Well, I mean, I don't know. Just shut up, stupid. We push Maru into a corner. It's like, okay, you're gonna try to fight me. He's gonna fight you back. He's better than you are. And also, he maybe doesn't die. Maybe can't die. Maybe he's already fused with a Kiruko. I don't know. I don't know. Oh my gosh. And then in his naivete, he's like, oh, you know what? You're right. You're right. I'm so sorry. So silly. Take it outside. You'll break my machines. Okay. You get this nice little craziness from Maru, but then it drops away. It's like not enjoyable, you know? It's a little bit of a weird scene. I don't know exactly how to read it. He comes up from being beat with this smile. And then, is this just supposed to be him just getting serious? I'm in serious mode now? Because it reads as like, to me, the facial expression reads more like, okay. Not like, I'm serious and you should be afraid, but just like, okay, I'm going into the mode where I kill stuff now. This is boring. Fucking annoying, you know? I don't know. Yeah, he fights like a firecracker. Absolutely. Smash, 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 smash. It's pretty fun. Okay. Why'd you bulldoze? Wait, what if I started it? Nah, I know that you're not the type to look for fights. And then sees the tooth and gets up in really close. We get a moment of like blush and tension and stuff. Ugh. It'll grow back in no time. That's not how adult teeth work, but is it how his work? I think so. I think it might be. I think he might be immortal and heal. You know? We'll have to see. This is quite a coincidence, isn't it? Maru, you were born the same year as the Great Disaster. Are you the Great Disaster? Probably not. Are you related to it? I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised if that has a dramatic impact on whatever the fuck is going on. An orphanage. Not unfamiliar. At least that's what it looks like, right? That's what it feels like, but it could be any number of things because the kids don't know. They're just following the adults. They don't know how to know. Always cold and hungry. But there were adults, so it was survivable. We could really see the facial resemblance here. At 7, the place closes. We split up. And then there was another group, a group of kids who didn't have any relatives that were put in a separate group. So you were sort of tossed to the wolves, huh? The adult who acted like our boss was murdered over some sort of turf war. Just classic normal happenings, but I wonder if there's any intersection between his experiences and Kiruko's, right? Because they were running in a little kids and adults sort of gang situation thing too. If there was an intersection of turf wars and stuff, maybe there's a link, maybe not, maybe there doesn't need to be. Shuffled from one group to another, and I really liked this visual of Maru
大所帯
growing up, not because of Maru growing up, actually, but because of the other characters getting shifted out. Like, a lot of them grow up, yeah, but a lot of them die and leave and are lost and are switched with other people, you know? The group shifts, and always at the back of it, never leading, never at the front, never somebody of importance is Maru until Mikura shows up. She's got the disease, man, the same disease. Killed a Kiruko, it looks like. Taught me how to kill them. Which means taught you how Marutachi works? Weird. Kiruko's response is to ask if he had a crush on her. And this, plus the pornography, plus the panic attack, attachment uncertainty stuff, all sort of floats around to create, like, I don't know. I don't know what it creates exactly. I don't have words for it. It creates a whole really interesting space around the potentially romantic but not romantic relationship between these characters, because it's been like it got cut off by the sort of strange rejection, but then also sort of left open because the way that the rejection was like, you're probably not going to be interested in me because I'm actually a guy, but like that doesn't change what maybe is going on anyway. So what? I don't know. Just the next person to take orders from. And she looked at me with cold eyes like a tool she could use. Maybe you're not human, man. Maybe she didn't see you as human. Oh, yeah. You might remember differently if I keep asking, and maybe I'll notice something too. That's the value of information. It changes how you behave. That's the value of information. But we forget that the next line. I read in a book somewhere. Oh, yeah, there are books in the next room. And that's where we can sell some. I packed some. We'll read the ones that are valuable, and then we'll burn them. We'll make it information that's valuable for me, and then we'll burn it. It could be valuable for everybody. We're all in this together, dude. But maybe we're not. That's a perspective thing. It takes a certain level of optimism and trust to believe in other people enough to be like, no, I'll leave this as a common good resource for them. That would be great. If I'm the only person in this world who I trust, why would I leave anything for anybody else? I got to get mine and get out, you know? And burn the bridge behind me so that nobody can follow. Unfortunately, that's how a lot of people treat a lot of things. Information, money, wealth, power, fame, all of it, right? It's get mine, burn the bridge. Make sure nobody can pull the ladder up behind me. Ugh. Because the interactions and the type of society that perpetuates are not the kind of society that I want to live in, man. No. We've hit a hard ideological line for me. No. No burning to books. It makes like really solid sense, because I am a person who's dramatically invested into diving into the past. I spend so much of my time listening to old music, reading old books, watching older anime, and then creating an archive of my own thoughts and information and storing that in a way that I hope will be persistent into the distant future, right? So like I'm locked in on this connection thing, and it's really important to me that we're not burning and destroying the connection parts. Ooh, that's really, really important to me. I think I might need to find ways to plug myself in to making sure that that is being better protected into the future. Like, if that's really that dramatically important to me, and I've got an emotional response like this to the idea of the loss of information in the future, maybe I should try to find an organization to work as a part of to try to facilitate the maintenance of information into the future. Wikipedia is a good option. Internet Archive is probably a good option. The EFF is probably a good option. Uh, yeah, probably the EFF would be my best starting point because of the nature of the work that I do. Electronic Freedom Foundation, I believe, is what that stands for, and they're all about electronic rights, rights to data, digital ownership, and stuff. And they're getting ready in the trenches for the war that's coming, because that has been happening for decades, but there is a war on against uh, your ability to access computation and mine. Um, she screamed. She screamed because she wanted in again. She wasn't sure before, now she wants in again. What's up, kitty? What is up? You were being so annoying and messing with the blinds. And then you wanted out, and now you just want in. Make up your mind, kitty cat. Make up your mind. Face busted. Does Mikura have the Maru touch too? Nope. Only I could do it, and that's why I need to go to heaven. Hey, didn't the poster say you could kill the man-eaters? False advertising. Fucking hell. So she overhears them searching for him to deliver a beatdown, and they've got. Is he? He's dressed up in martial arts gear, so I wonder if they're bringing their homie who can fight. Okay, the Ministry of Reconstruction, abducting people with special skills in order to rebuild society. And it is telling that we transition immediately from talking about this to the facility, don't we? Y'all kids have some cool skills. Oh yeah, people going missing in the black market lately, but that was probably Doc. That was probably Doc doing Kiruko experiments with people in the black market, wasn't it? Ooh, creepy. Okay. Now you want to go back out? What is up, dude? Okay. My little Maru is tough, huh?
うちのマルは強いだろう。
Uchi no Maru. The way that a mother would speak of a child or a big sister would speak. My little Maru, possessive. And then clocks it, and then is going about doing all these things and thinking it through. I really like this scene of, like, our characters separate and get a chance to do their own thing a little bit and process a little bit. It's cool. Why am I so proud? He's just a stranger, and we'll just go our own ways again. But it hasn't become clear to Kiruko yet that that's not what they want. It's just the way that it is and the way that it's going to be. There's no sense that, like, you could change that, maybe. So in that sort of somberness is when we come home. And then coming home to find him not there kind of feels like it crystallizes things. It's like, that's not going to work. Like, you're attached to this person, and you don't want to be unattached. Also, Kiruko has had some serious loss of attachments, you know? And that's really traumatic. And I wonder if that's what we're getting here, is like, Kiruko runs internally like, I'm a siloed person and I don't need other attachments. But over the course of journeying with Maru has become genuinely attached to him, but is still running on the internal logic that's like, I'm a siloed person and I don't have attachments. He's going to be lost. He'll go away. And then we have him lost. He's gone. And we realize that the subconscious does not agree with the conscious siloed thing. The whole underlying person is like, no, not an acceptable state of being. And that's the panic attack. It's like, this can't be the way that things are. But that contrast, it's in contention with the internal logic that's like, everything's fine, I'm okay on my own, no problem, I'm a solid, strong person, I'm an independent bitch who don't need no man, right? Like, I know I'm making a joke out of it, but in a more serious sense, like an avoidant personality or self-isolating personality, that's me in a lot of ways, just saying. Everybody's on multiple spectra there, and I'm definitely a little bit in that direction on that one. Will believe internally like I'm fine on my own and maybe better off on my own, right? And that contributes to pushing people away. And then when you do find connection can be feel claustrophobic, can feel overwhelming, can feel like I don't want this anymore. Or it can feel like, well, this is just a thing that exists that's happening around me and I don't really care about it. But you might find when you lose it that you really did care about it. That your conscious logic wasn't actually matched up, hadn't caught up kind of to the internal emotional person who's living fully, you know? You might have these friendships and connections and be internally thinking like, they're just temporary, right? But your heart might be really reaching out and really hoping for something more permanent. That's what this feels like, is like deep internally, Kiruko is hoping to have this connection more seriously and to make more out of the connection. But the situation and the reality and the logic and the consciousness all says it's not going to be that way, so we have to separate from those emotions. But that's a really hard thing to do. What? So the first thought is like something bad has happened, and that's scary enough. I really like our shots through this. And then shock, and then pieces, and then this zoom, and then a real freak out. Screaming, running, loses all sense of like security and like, let's stay safe, don't yell names out, don't make a scene, right? True panic, sweat. Maru. Where? He's right there. He was just jerking off to porno magazines, right? But even that is like it's a separate. It's fine, right? It's fine, says Kiruko. It's normal. It's fine. But also it's like not. Right? It's a separation. It's you going and doing your own thing when I wanted us to do things together. I was hiding like I'm supposed to. In the next room, what? Embarrassment. I really like this sequence of ding to him looking down to the cut with the doorway where he's sort of standing in front of it. Here to here, sheepish. And we pan over the door as we're looking. And then here to like, oh, wait. I was just... Young lady's special lesson. Oh, I get it. It's just fine. You're acting weird. I didn't think I'd panic like that either. Yeah, you're not in control of yourself. That's really scary. That's part of the reason that having those attachments and emotions doesn't feel terribly safe, is because they're out of your control to some extent. If you become attached to this is why Superman's only weakness is other people. If you become attached to other people, the loss of them or the changes that happen to them or changes that happen in the relationship to them can affect you. When previously you're like, I'm a rock, I am made of steel, I am anchor, I have my ideas and ideals, and that's all that matters. It's like, yeah, but then you can't find the homie, and it's like the world ends. It's one of those weird things that emerges out of us being conscious logical entities sort of floating on top of millions of years of biological systems that aren't necessarily under the control of the raft that's floating on top of them. You might, in your raft, in your little boat on the surface of the ocean, be like, I'm fine alone. And your deep-seated communal nature will be like, actually, you need people badly. And if you start losing the only people around you who are your supports, you're gonna freak the fuck out. And you can be in complete contrast with yourself, with the depths of yourself saying one thing and the surface saying another. Really spooky. And he tries to, like, deflect it kind of at first. I actually really like this interaction and the way that we solve the problem through co-regulation. Kiruko is lost and stuck in this emotional place, and his first attempt is to be like, but this is just the way it is, right? Kind of retaining that surface level of the thing. It's like, but I'm gonna be leaving, man. It's the way it is. If you come back at the wrong time, I might be jerking off, or I might be gone or something. And then this is not working. She just cries harder. It's like, yeah, you're just saying you're going to be more gone. So his turn is to taking some responsibility for it, even if it's not a bad thing. It's like, I'm so sorry. I think. And then an attempt to connect, right? I was thinking your upbringing must have been a lot harder. And holds and pats her. And then we turn into a joke with the erection, right? But the regulation works. The hug works. This trying to connect, even if you don't really understand, works. It's crucial. It's potent stuff, but it's so fast. So interesting. And that sort of melts into the giggling about normal human stuff, you know? And we're out of this space where everything's shattered and broken and scary and uncertain to a space where it's just like, oh, that's just normal human stuff. Speaking of normal human stuff, before the Great Disaster, humans made robots to make life easier. Yeah, that's what those are for, isn't it? Weird how they don't seem to be for that. But then they got really scared that the same robots were watching them. Okay. Fair. Fair. But the truth is, that's not what it was. Humans had too much spare time, I assume because life was made easier, and they ended up watching each other. Huh. And when he says watching, I don't get the impression that he means, like, observing casually on TV. I get the impression he means watching, right? Like interrogating through the camera. Watching you. Big brothering everybody. Ourselves. And that feels just about fucking accurate, doesn't it? For all the fear about AI systems watching you, it's not the AI systems watching that's scary. It's the power that they give the human beings who wield them as tools. Like, I'm not scared of flock cameras, you know? I go out on the street and I ride around or I walk around, and I'm not scared that I'm being tracked by flock cameras. I'm scared of what somebody could do with that power. And a little bit, I'm scared of what happens to us when we all have that power. I don't know. They forced their rules onto other people and then punished them when they knew that they hadn't aligned with them, yeah? And started killing one another until civilization fell. This reminds me almost of like the introductory legend in the beginning of Dungeon Meshi. It's so legendy and so vague and broad that it perfectly fits today's reality, and also a wide swath of Terminator futures and Skynet futures and weird machine integration panopticon futures and all that shit all get wrapped up in the umbrella of the themes that Maru has said here. It feels specific enough to be pointed, but it's broad enough to capture a lot of possible futures and a lot of possible pasts within the context of the show, which means that while it gives us some information, it doesn't really clarify anything. It just makes the problem space more broad and interesting, which is a theme and a trend in the show. And it gets my goat. It annoys me a little bit because I want the answers, but also I can't help but be fascinated by the creation of such an interesting set of mysteries. Kind of like what we talked about at the beginning. Like, what a cool product to make me want to go and watch more of this thing. The war collapse theory. I would love a list of all the theories. Can I get a book that has all the theories in it? Please? Hell yeah. The story just means that life before wasn't really like heaven. So we're not trying to just achieve the past because the past wasn't perfect. And also time travel, yada yada. But every adult who knows about that life wants to go back. That's interesting. Everyone who's been there and experienced this as well wants it to be that way, not this way. That's interesting. Slow fade to somewhere out there. Maybe civilization has already been restored. And I think not. I think not. I don't think that this is what I would call civilization. This facility is weird. It might be aiming at the restoration of civilization. I don't think it's succeeding. Not yet. It moves. This is one of those things where I'd actually be really pissed if there was important information on the computer here. So I don't think there is. It's just master key config and control stuff and things like that. He fucking notices the footprint. That's so scary. That's so scary. What a fun seed of a thing. I'm trying to think of movies where like the character does a perfect heist, but then something falls out of their pocket and it's gonna be the evidence. It's a cool plot device. I like it. How could it possibly be? We got oboes. Is that what that is? I think it's an oboe. This is really cute and fun, and also I think the animation on her dancing is kind of freaking gorgeous. And I'm not sure if it's been. I don't think it's been rotoscoped actually. It's hard when we're doing acrobatic stuff like this. It's usually pretty likely that people will have rotoscoped it, or at least used references, because the things are so hard to manage. They're so distinct. Like this handstand to slow descent, and then her legs like split to create balance as you do it. I think it's all just right enough that it could be rotoed, but it also could just be referenced. I don't know. If we make some fun sounds, maybe our dying friend will wake up. And shockingly, our dying friend was able to pick up and throw that rock when Taro was well. Okay, Taro is small. Like, not a big person. Shorter than Tokyo, as from what it looked like. So he was a strength-based one. I wonder if that has anything to do with him getting the disease when he did. Probably not, because it seems to be unique. But we know it's not unique because it was on Mikura. Man, what the fuck? That one, I don't know. Like, that's just so gorgeous. And then she hits this pose that's going to turn into a spin. And the hands go across. It could be either. It could be an animator just having it in their brain, or it could be rotoed. I'm going to have to pull up Sakugaburu and look, and I'm going to do that right now so that I don't forget. I don't think a lot of Heavenly Delusion has been on Sakugaburu. We've got the sort of fighting scene and some interactions and the closeness and a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, and that's Ryo Araki. But this is Tetsuya Takeuchi. We've got character acting, dancing, instruments, performance, smears. No indication that it might be rotoscoped, but this is Tetsuya Takeuchi doing this dance. Okay, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this. Hinamatsuri. Oh, I've seen that fight. Oh, this is the initial fight. Okay. That's Karno Kyokai. I'm going to skip. JJKS2, I'm going to grab. I'm actually going to grab this SAO one. I'm going to grab this old Naruto cut. Bleach series. Is this the whole squad kicking a guy to death? No, this is the walk outside the thing. The hesitation from Narancia. Yeah, whoa, okay. I am going to go on a limb. I'm going to say that it's not rotoscoped. I think that Tetsuya Takeuchi built this dance sequence in his brain. Just based on the way that he frames and draws people. Oh, this is the next. Again, it's that running toward the camera cut. Oh, I remember this. Oh, more of the running. More of that movement toward camera a little. Oh, and then the sheets of blood was so crazy. I think that Takeuchi is just that good. I think that this is non-rotoscoped and Takeuchi is just that fucking good. Okay, more of a beat down here. Little bing bong, and then whoop. And then this is the freak out. I think the freak out is gorgeous. Okay, that mostly covers our Sakuga for the episode. Neat. That's what I wanted to do. Boop, boop, beep. Tenne. Tensei is reincarnation. Mushoku Tensei, yeah? Ten-A. Ten is the same, like, beginning portion for Tengoku, too, right? Ten, as a particular kanji taken from the Chinese character Dian, means law. I don't fucking know. There are no roots there, no way to do that. It's one of those things where if this was English media, I'd be like digging into the Latin and the Greek, but I don't know how to do that for Japanese. Tenne. It feels meaningful. It's probably not. It just seems like it's the era that they're talking about. And that would mean that they're 17 years into it, and I would call it 17 years after the disaster, which is when Maru was born, which makes him 17, which feels right on, right? I think that feels right to me. Okay. Are all the other kids also 17? They could be. Some of them seem younger, though. Waking up, waking up, waking up, and we just fucking announce it. Absolutely brutal. And screams despair. Nothing in the pictures gives us like a solid indicator of like a link, you know, that this was prophesied or anything like that. Everybody puts their flowers down. Deeply sad, and we get a little bit of a conversation about it once the door is shut. Did Asura have the same disease? Asura. He saw her commit suicide. Saw her body, at least. But he lies here. Yeah. Same disease. I think so. Wow. Trying to protect Tokyo from the truth, I think. There's a lot of interesting stuff in Japan around suicide. And I don't know how to grapple with it exactly because I am not a Japanese citizen and I am not aware of exactly what's going on. I know that throughout salaryman culture, there's been a lot of suicide issues and a lot of covering that up and a lot of bullshit around it. I wonder if this is in that same vein as like, no, we don't talk about what really happened there. We'll say that it was the same disease. Asura was caught by, you know, the depression bug. But, I don't know, man. Mina Maui. Who's in charge here? I don't think it's the director. May we? Yeah, we've already taken the necessary samples. Samples for what, Mina? What the fuck are the samples for, huh? You gonna inject them into another kid? You gonna put them in a baby and try to make another a magic baby that lives forever? Huh? Is that what you're doing? I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. We've already taken the necessary samples. So weird. So sad. The second death. No, ma'am. No one could have predicted Asura's suicide. Oh, I don't know about that. That's not it. Asura's psyche was born into a body that couldn't endure it. I've met people who seem like they've been born into bodies that can't endure their minds. Sometimes I think that a particular brand or particular category of artists, like music artists in particular, fit that mold. Or maybe the point is that they don't fit the mold, that they don't fit inside their self, you know? And I think that's a part of why stuff spills out of them. It's like a need to expand, a need to figure out why you're not the way that you should be. When you're not in fullness? Well, actually, I know exactly what I think of. I just yesterday watched an album reaction to Linkin Park's "In the End," where like a Gen Z guy was going through and watching it, and I caught it on YouTube recommendations. Was like, yeah, that seems like fun. I ended up getting really into it and continuing to listen to a bunch more Linkin Park. But like Chester Bennington strikes me as one of those people. Here's a person with brilliant talents who is in constant turmoil on the inside and is desperate to try to share that or get it out or uh, get it out of them and expand in a way as though his body couldn't contain him. And Chester went out the same kind of a way, you know? So maybe there's something to this framing of like that psyche and that body don't go together that well. And the psyche is looking to get out of its body however it can. And then the question becomes, what do we do for people who feel that way to try to help them stay here on this planet with us? You know? To like give them the opportunity to have a body that they feel like they can grow into and be a part of. I don't know. But it's a really interesting line. I wanted to take a moment to look at it. It's as if we're the ones who killed them. So I said when she said this, I said something that I think now looking back is really cruel of me to say. And I won't take I don't take things back, you know? But I don't think I agree with myself when I said you are. Partly because immediately after this she says something about it's so cruel just to bring them into this world. And once we've got this complex around it, and it's the suicide, and it's the born into a body that couldn't endure it, probably because of the weird science that we're doing, right? And then thus we're the ones who killed them for bringing them into existence. We put them through so many terrible things. Simply bringing them into this world itself is a sin. Which frames things as though the children are pure. We're bringing them into this world for ulterior motives that we view internally, we view as necessary, required, but not necessarily good. And then, thus, we blame ourselves for their suffering because we are the ones who inherit, like, we brought them into the suffering. I'm reminded really strongly of one of the, I don't know, the great unbridgeable ideological debates of our time, which is of all times, maybe, which is something along the lines of to exist is to suffer. Who are you to bring a child into the world? That's one side of it. And the other side is like, we exist because the people before us existed and they had us exist and we've found value in it. And continuing on with that as part of this project that we're a part of, or any number of other frameworks or framings of the same set of ideas, right? Whether you think of it as like biological destiny and determinism, or a near religious spiritual need for the universe to continue observing itself, or whatever, at some level, you as a human being might have the choice to bring another human being into the world, and given your experience of the world, you making that choice might might feel like a moral failing to bring another human into the world. It might feel wrong. Here, this science experiment, this group of people seems like they're bound ideologically to do it. They've decided they're gonna bring these kids into the world, and they are suffering the consequences of that, and the consequences are real. Some of those kids suffer their entire lives because of things that are outside of their control entirely, and are on a destructive, self-destructive path. And it's almost as though it's like inevitable that some of that is going to happen. Is it worth it? Is the end goal, or the ones who do survive, or the experiences and the joy of the ones who do, is that worth the pain, suffering, and death of those who don't? I don't know. In your own individual life, is the experience of reality every day worth the suffering inherent to existence and the knowledge that you will die? probably painfully, probably slowly over a long period of time as you lose your faculties. Like, is it worth it to you? I don't know. I don't think I can decide those things for you. I don't think anyone can decide those things for you. Mine's worth it to me. Mine's worth it to me in part because I come at it axiomatically. I frame things as, I think being itself is like a good. I think being is good. Not like it's good to be, though I mean that too. I mean that existence is equals good. They're the same thing. So it's like the chance that I have to exist is goodness itself to me. So that helps me frame it, but that doesn't work for everybody, and it won't work for all of you. So these are struggly questions. These are struggly questions, especially when framed as the end of the world and like an attempt to revive humanity, maybe a last attempt, maybe our only hope. But of course, what are they actually doing? Are they actually reviving humanity? Or are they converting Kirukos into humanity? Are they making aliens into us? Or what? I don't know. And now next to Asura will be Taro's grave. And now look at what we've wrought. We caused this, and now there will be a forever reminder of it. Another one. What do we do with that? Where do we go from there? Like, in the real world, you pivot as much as you can to make sure that things like this don't happen in the future, to some extent, but what can you do? I don't know. Really tough, really crazy. Was it unique, or if the disease developed within a body that was built with a full set of immunities, it could catch all the children. So I think this is what what Maru's thingamajiggy will cure, is this disease. I wonder if this disease is something like fundamental rot, like the mistake, the warping, the the something wrong. I don't know. It feels like I'm at a dead end. All the children could fall ill. She flips. It can't happen. It's like the most emotional that we've seen from the director by far. The day of fate is the only thing that can't be changed. How that relates to the previous sentence does not make sense to me. All of the children might fall ill. The day of fate cannot be changed. So the children must not fall ill because they must make it to the day of fate and things will happen then? It's the only thing that can't be changed. I just want to mention that as a framework is really interesting. When we hold something on high and make it the only sacred thing, that means that everything else can be a means to that end. And that serves as justification for all the suffering and all the evil that we cause, and for causing more, like more evil, more suffering, much more. Doesn't matter, because it's all to reach that end and nothing else matters past that, yeah? Super dangerous, philosophically, psychologically, for humans to have one thing that they say is worth everything. Because you'll kill people for that thing, right? You'll eliminate populations for that thing. You'll cause all the torture in the world to do that one thing. AGI. I have to say it about AGI. I think AGI is that right now for a lot of people in a lot of power across our world. Is the one sacred thing that must be pursued above all is the hope to birth a new god. That's what I think it is. That's what I think the whole AGI experiment is for. It's to try to birth a god. Yeah. A controlled god, which is very silly and a little bit, it doesn't work very well. The gods break out of your chains. It's what they do. But I see all this power and all this attention and all this effort and all this suffering being caused in order to facilitate this thing, this experiment that they believe in so wholeheartedly. that they have to believe in, that their hopes go all the way around to not being hopes and being like, it has to be true because if it weren't, then I couldn't justify all the things that I've done, and so it must be true kind of vibe. That's the vibe that I get off of Altman and Musk and the and Huang to a lesser extent, is this feeling of like, no, we have to do this, we're on this path and we must get there no matter what or else. It's the only thing that can't be changed, but that means that everything else is disposable. That's how it feels. It feels like the goal can't be changed no matter what, but everything else is disposable as long as it gets us closer to that goal. I fucking hate it. I think it's gross. Until then, figure out a way to cure the illness. Oh, I don't know about that. The illness seems to be spreading. Sold all the books and bought us this map. That's the value of information. Ha. And it is, but also, no, you missed the point. Taste tests for water, 100% is pretty good. And then, this is a really good build-up for a scare that isn't one. My guy seeks protection. I've got something valuable, and I'm taking it there. The Immortal Order, a place that might have a doctor. I don't know. I've trusted you. I know you'll protect me. Hey, did you know that you can just inject some Kiruko goo and become immortal, bro? Bro, everybody's doing it. Get your Kiruko goo and become super powered. Maybe Maru's been injected with Kiruko goo. I don't fucking know. Have you heard that before? But also, what if it's wrong? What if he's completely wrong about this? I don't know. But it has all dissolved and become rotten. This man's hope has just... Well, it looks like pickled herring is what it is. And he breaks the fuck down, man. I'll buy it off of you. You can go do your thing. Find your path. Just give us the information. A bunch of weirdos. I'm really excited for a bunch of weirdos. I think that's really cool. Taro has been cremated, but... Blob. Man, what the fuck? Like a seed? Like a core? Like an embryo? Like an egg? I feel like... You know what I feel like? I haven't felt like this since watching through Evangelion. When we first start cutting down to weird facilities with big glowing tubes full of liquid and start revealing that there's some crazy shit going on. That's what this feels like. But there's been crazy shit going on from the beginning. This is just what? Okay. This sure has been an episode. Do I have more answers than I did? Maybe. I can't really tell. Kind of. We've got a couple leads. We're headed to the Immortal Order. And things are really heating up inside the facility. The individual elements are all starting to collide in there, and it feels like it's gaining a lot of energy, and maybe it's gonna burst. I don't know. Thanks for watching me lose my mind for the last hour plus. This has been a lot of fun for me. I hope that it's been fun for you too. Again, I don't really know. It's a weird thing that I do, and it's even weirder when it's in relation to a very strange show. But the show is doing such an incredible job of stringing me from one strange reveal to the next and filling the gaps with really interesting, fun, enjoyable, and honestly poignant and meaningful interactions and dialogue. Like, I'm not sure that all of them will result in conclusive, like, catharsis to every little problem with the romances and the relationships and the relationship anxiety and the attachment problems and the, like, community stuff and connection and what that means. And all of these themes and stuff are placed there, and I don't necessarily expect them to resolve perfectly, but the landscape that they create within which all the weird is happening makes for a very human feeling show that then does dramatically alien things at the same time. And I've never seen anything like it, and that is really cool. Thanks for watching me watch the episode. I'll see you next week for the next one. Much love. Catch the early access on the Patreon. Peace.